Good afternoon, everyone. This is Holly Hamilton here at the Turks and Caicos Islands National Weather Service at the Turks and Caicos Islands Airports Authority, bringing to you the tropical weather briefing for today, Friday, September 27th. So looking at our surface analysis chart, we have a number of features on here that we're going to pay attention to. First off, the now tropical storm Helene that's been making the news so far for the couple of days. And then we have a tropical wave here in the Caribbean Sea that's moving westward. Hurricane Isaac up here in the north central Atlantic Ocean. And then this low pressure associated with a tropical wave, which is now Tropical Storm Joyce. And another tropical wave that came off of Africa that's in the tropical Atlantic um, today. So taking a look at the satellite imagery, pinpointing those same features that I pointed out on the surface analysis chart. We have Hurricane Helene, you see up there just moving out of the frame a bit. She's located over the Carolinas now and inundating them with rain and causing a lot of flooding and so forth. We see Hurricane Isaac up there in the north central Atlantic and newly formed tropical storm Joyce here out in the central tropical Atlantic. And then we see that those disorganized showers and thunderstorm activity associated with that tropical wave in the Caribbean Sea. And the other tropical wave, some disorganized showers and thunderstorm activity associated with that off the African coast. So looking at our tropical weather outlook, we already pinpointed these different features. We have Hurricane Helene, Tropical Storm Helene, Hurricane Isaac, Tropical Storm Joyce, and then we have two areas of interest that could potentially develop through the next 7 days. So just quickly breaking down or going through the different systems. So Tropical Storm Helene, looking at the NHC official forecast track. It's located over the southern Appalachians right now. You see tropical storm force winds, which is represented by this yellow blob here, impacting still the state of Georgia and the Carolinas. And it's expected to merge with an upper level low. And then you see this track movement here over Tennessee and Kentucky, and it's expected to weaken and become an extratropical system um, by tomorrow. And then Hurricane Isaac, which is out there in the north central Atlantic Ocean, is expected to continue to move northeasterly and maintains hurricane strength for a couple more days and then weaken as it gets up into those cooler waters and being no threat to land. And then finally, Tropical Storm Joyce, which is out in the central tropical Atlantic. Um, she's expected to maintain tropical storm strength going into early next week. And it's expected to continue its northwesterly movement and then turn to the north-northeast and then northerly as it moves around a weak mid-level ridge. That's sort of the steering flow with this system. And there's a lot of good model consensus with this movement right now. So as of now, it seems as Joyce is going to stay out to sea and also be no threat to land. But we'll be monitoring this system and making any necessary updates. And then for the two systems or the two potential areas of development. So off here in the Western Caribbean, again, we're looking at a potential low pressure system to develop here. And by mid next week and by later into next week, possibly moving into the Gulf of Mexico. And there's a low chance of development, 30% chance of development through the next 7 days. And then potentially a low pressure could form in the eastern tropical Atlantic by early to middle part of next week. There's a low chance of development through the next 7 days. And again, let me just remind you that the hatched area we see here is the area where the system can potentially develop, and it's not really indicating the track of the system after it's developed. So now looking into the winds and waves for the next 5 days. So we're seeing some of the same features we pointed out earlier, that tropical wave that's progressing towards the west through the Caribbean. But we're looking at mostly gentle to moderate winds, and especially this is Turks and Caicos right here, especially over the Turks and Caicos Islands, and moderate seas, calm to moderate seas. So waves of 3 to 5 feet over the ocean. We see Tropical Storm Joyce out here in the Atlantic. And as we move forward through time, so now this is Sunday, 12 UTC, we're still maintaining moderate winds. We see that that tropical wave has now moved past us to the west. And we're expecting most of the convection, as you would have seen in the satellite imagery, is to the south, mostly impacting the Hispaniola. But there's a chance that we can get some odd showers or so over the weekend from that tropical wave. Again, seas are moderate. And we see this going into pretty much next week. That high pressure system, again, is the dominant feature impacting our weather pattern. So we're looking for possibly more of the same going into the next week. Hot conditions, possible showers in the afternoon. Gentle to moderate winds, calm seas, going into well into next week, mid next week. And so with that, that is the tropical weather briefing for this week. You can make sure that you stay up to date with us, with the weather forecast and any other weather updates on our social media platforms. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And with that, I wish you a pleasant weekend.